India's ambitious nuclear expansion program is facing uncomfortable new questions after a major cybersecurity breach exposed thousands of files linked to the country's largest nuclear plant. At the centre of controversy is the Kundankulam nuclear plant in the southern state of Tamil Nadu. It is India's biggest nuclear facility and the cornerstone of Prime Minister Modi's plans to dramatically increase atomic energy production over the coming decades. A ransomware group known as World Leaks has now published what it claims are sensitive documents connected to the project, including blueprints, supplier information, inspection records, and internal project documents. The files reportedly came from systems linked to Reliance Infrastructure, one of the major contractors involved in the construction of additional reactors at the site. Reliance has acknowledged a partial breach involving data hosted by a third-party provider, although the full extent of the leak remains unclear. Indian authorities have launched an investigation, but so far there has been little public explanation for either the government or operators of the plant. The incident raises a much larger question. Is India's nuclear program secure enough for the rapid expansion being championed by Modi? Experts stress there is no evidence that reactor control systems were compromised. However, security specialists warn that information about layouts, support systems, suppliers, and infrastructure could still be valuable to hostile actors. Critics argue that the breach highlights a broader weakness in India's cybersecurity environment. Many Indian organisations remain poorly prepared for cyber threats. A significant number do not even know whether they have been attacked. That is particularly concerning when crucial national infrastructure is involved. This is not the first warning sign. In 2019, malware linked to North Korean hacking group was discovered on an administrative network connected to the same nuclear facility in India. Officials insist at the time that operational systems were unaffected. Yet the latest breach suggests vulnerabilities continue to exist years later. For the Modi government, the timing is awkward. India is set ambitious targets to expand nuclear power as it seeks to meet rising energy demand while reducing dependence on fossil fuels. New reactors are under construction and billions of dollars are being invested in the sector. But expanding capacity is only one part of the challenge. Maintaining public confidence and protecting crucial infrastructure are equally as important. The key issue is not whether India should pursue nuclear energy, but the real question is whether security, transparency, and oversight are keeping pace with Modi's ambition. This latest breach does not prove India's nuclear facilities are unsafe, but it does expose weaknesses that opponents say have not been adequately addressed. And it raises fresh concerns about whether the government has been significantly open about the risks facing some of the country's most sensitive installations.
Beyond the immediate security concerns, the breach shines a spotlight on another issue that has long surrounded India's nuclear program: transparency. Information about nuclear security incidents is rarely discussed publicly, and critics have often accused successive governments, including the current administration, of providing limited detail when problems emerge. The documents reportedly include details relating to ventilation systems, cooling infrastructure, supplier networks, and a shared control room used in reactors still under construction. Security analysts caution that while such information may not allow an attacker to interfere with reactor operations directly, it could help identify weak points elsewhere in the system. In the wrong hands, seemingly routine engineering information can become a valuable intelligence tool. The incident also highlights growing concerns over supply chain security. Modern nuclear projects involve hundreds of contractors, subcontractors, and technology providers. A facility can invest heavily in protecting its core systems, yet remain vulnerable if a contractor or third-party service provider is compromised. That appears to be one of the central concerns emerging from this case. For India, which wants to present itself as a major technological and strategic power, cyber resilience is becoming just as important as physical security. The challenge for New Delhi is not simply investigating this breach. It is convincing both domestic and international audiences that lessons are being learned and weaknesses are being fixed before the next incident occurs.
The investigation is now likely to focus on whether any sensitive information has already been accessed or exploited by hostile actors. India insists its nuclear facilities remain secure, but confidence will depend on transparency and accountability in the weeks ahead. As the Modi government pushes forward with one of the world's most ambitious nuclear expansion programs, the pressure will grow for greater openness, stronger cyber defences, and independent scrutiny. Because in the nuclear sector, public trust can be just as important as technology itself.